What's going on? Welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to talk to you about Ethereum Classic. Give you a quick overview of some of the data points, what's been really moving it, and just generally if alt season is coming or not. Before we get into any of that, make sure to hit that thumbs up, and with that, let's get right to it. So ETC has been somewhat lackluster over the last little bit. It is down 1.38%, sitting at $20.53. You are still seeing rather low volume, so 3.16 million. And so I think in general, a lot of big money is just waiting on the sidelines for a good catalyst. And I think in general, what has been coming out lately on a kind of larger standpoint is that there won't be any cuts, most likely up until Q3 2025. That, of course, does directly affect consumers' buying power. And so this is why you see a little bit of a pullback and why nobody's not really doing anything with ETC. But aside from that, though, it's been a while since I've done a ETC video. So number of merchants did go up a little bit in February, but I think there's some adjustments that are happening because I've been covering this for a very long time, and it was actually nearing almost 1300, not 887. So there has been some adjustments. If we actually look at this, so the analytics behind the scenes, I think there is some interesting stuff happening because it does show that mostly it's from the US and Ukraine merchants accepting ETC as a form of payment. So I think there might be, I personally find it hard to believe Ukraine has that many, but I think, again, maybe the stats behind this aren't necessarily as concrete. So I just wanted to give a quick update. But over the last little bit, you've seen a couple kind of breakouts, but I think there's a lot of bad sentiment and a lot of bad PR that's been happening from a lot of kind of like crap coins getting rug pulled. So I think just people's appetite for risk isn't necessarily there. So even looking at a lot of the big names are all down over the last 24 hours. ETC is still right here, so rank number 37. So since my last video, it did drop a couple points, so not the best. And so I think in general, it's just lack of buyers, and that's what ETC and just crypto needs. You need capital to continuously come in. If not, then you're going to fall by the wayside. And even especially in ETC's case, it is very heavily shorted. So if you do have that constant suppression coming from shorts, it's definitely very hard for it to kind of move up. But aside from that, looking at the liquidations, similar to what I mentioned, nobody's really been doing anything. So longs and shorts haven't really been liquidating, haven't been doing anything. This is what killed the momentum. So February the 1st and also the 2nd, you had just shy of around 4.24 million in liquidations on the 1st, and then 8.94 million in longs on the 2nd. So that's what really kind of caused it to go down quite significantly. But aside from that, it's just kind of stuck in limbo waiting for the next big catalyst. And I think in ETC's case, you really do need to look at this right here, some of the support points. So as of right now, with it at $20 and change, it is trading between this S2 and this S3. 1995 is going to be that next strong support. Flip side, 2238 and then 2389 is going to be that next strong kind of targets / resistance points. So in my opinion, I do feel like it is going to kind of slowly trend down, most likely bounce off of this S3, and then hopefully from there it'll kind of move higher from that, really stimulate some buying. But as of right now, I think just people are looking at this. So a lot of articles kind of just talking about altcoins, and potentially if this is the season where you're going to see a nice rotation similar to what happened in 2021. But this is where, again, I always like to, I'm no BS. So I'm not here to hype you up. I'm not here to get you to sell. I am just laying it straight facts. People that compare 2021 to 2025, I hate to say it, they don't know what they're talking about. There's way too many YouTubers out there just pumping the hell out of just random stuff when it doesn't need it and it's not justified. So 2021, there was a huge inflow of capital, and I have brought this up in the past. So this kind of chart right here shows the money markets. And so there was a big rotation out of money markets to go into both equity and the crypto market. So this right here is 2020, big rotation going into 2021. So huge amounts of capital were going into the market. That is single-handedly why people's appetite for risk was definitely elevated back in 2021. Everything was going higher. So for someone to say, hey, 2025, this is going to happen again, even if we look at this, so the Bitcoin dominance, it is just like crazy high. So essentially there's no data point out there to validate and to signal that this is a kind of alt season entering. So let me know your viewpoint. Do you think I'm wrong about this, or do you think that we're going to see a huge maybe kind of spike with a lot of these? So ETC definitely could stand to benefit, but like I said, I think just all the data points out there are really pointing to just Bitcoin and other cryptos that have significant utility. They're the ones that are moving forward. And I think more notably is Ripple. That one I'm very bullish on. I cover that under another YouTube channel. But yeah, generally I think as of right now for ETC, there is a little bit more downside than up. But then again, I could be wrong. Hopefully it just jumps right to 30 to 40 and then who knows from there. But as of right now, just based on all the data points and the macro events, I feel like there is a little bit more downside. But on the actual chart, I have the 50, 100-day moving averages, ALMA, super trend, and stochastic RSI. So looking at the 1-day chart, you do see, despite the fact that it's actually been going down, you see it rather overbought because it is trying to fight and stay up. But regrettably, the technicals are kind of pointing to having it a little bit lower. It is below the ALMA as well as below a lot of the key pivotal moving averages that I like to look at. So again, signaling that there might be a little bit of a additional pullback. But looking at the 4-hour, still nothing really to talk on. It's a kind of nothing burger. Recently did break below the 50-day moving average and currently is below that ALMA. So signaling that you might see a little bit of a pullback. Looking at the super trend though, that is at $20.23. So if it does break below that, then most likely you'll see that 1995 touched very quick. Again, this is a 4-hour. It's good to look at everything. So the 4-hour leads into the 1 day and then the 1 hour into the 4-hour. And then looking at the 1 hour, this is where you're seeing that it does want to recover, but based on just this right here, the lackluster volume, not much is going on. So in all fairness though, all it'll take is just one whale just to buy in, and then this could really go up higher. But if that doesn't occur, given all the status quo, then most likely you are going to see a continuation of a downtrend. So let me know your thoughts on ETC. Have you been buying? Have you been selling? Do you think that we're going to be kind of moving higher? What's your overall kind of take on all of this? Don't forget to hit that thumbs up and subscribe. I always greatly appreciate that. And then if you do want to pop over to my Discord, it is completely free. A lot of good people, so you can go there, talk shop for crypto, stocks, options, whatever floats your boat. Definitely a good place to go. Link in the description below and also the comments. With all that, appreciate all of you watching.